So we've talked about 2 ways to increase your earnings as a freelance designer, and that's getting experience and social proof and also expanding your services. So I wanted to talk about kind of the time thing and experience, just like we witnessed with the Upwork people, how it tends to be when they have the 5 to 10 level experience of years that it tends to really dramatically increase how much you can charge. So I wanted to talk about my own experience with logo design, and I guess you can say branding toward the end of this chart. So if you're not happy with your freelancing pricing power right now in your first year of freelancing, just give it time. And I don't want anybody to feel discouraged because it takes time to really become good at your craft. You can't learn graphic design in a month and then charge $75 an hour. There might be the 2% of you who can do that because you just have this natural talent. But for most of us, it has taken me 5, 10 years to really make the big bucks, to go beyond 6 figures. It's taken me at least 10 years to get to that point. And then, of course, it's taken me 20 years of graphic design experience to get beyond the 7-figure mark. And that is possible with graphic design. Can you make $1 million as a graphic designer? Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. So hopefully I'm proof to that, and maybe a little encouragement for you guys to stick with it. Not everyone's timeline is exactly the same. It's not always like mine. You might go faster than me, but almost everyone's timeline trends upward with experience and social proof. It could take time to establish yourself as a freelancer, and learning new software tricks and styles, reading books, and just practicing can all be considered some form of experience. Yes, even watching this video is some level of experience. So I started rock bottom, $10 an hour. I had no experience or software training in logo design. You could see my logo designs were not very good 15, 20 years ago. So I charged bare bottom, rock bottom, $10. It wasn't a whole lot of money, but it's all I feel like I could do to attract anyone. And sometimes you feel that you're in this mode right now. You are there. You're at rock bottom. But the good news is, if you stick with it and continue to work hard and learn something new in logo design or branding or graphic design every day, you'll be able to get to that next step. So baby steps, maybe 1 month or 2 months of struggling, I might have been able to bump it up to $20 for a logo design. So I did 1 logo, so maybe I knew what I was doing. So I started to charge a little bit more after I got a paid project. And then you flatline for a little bit. So $25 for a logo, which is super, 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 super cheap. This was, of course, 20 years ago. But even 20 years ago, this is just almost embarrassingly cheap. It's not valuing yourself as a designer. I don't recommend charging $10 for a logo, but this is just my own personal, what I felt like I had to do to get clients. And so I started charging a little bit more, and all this could happen in a month or 2. This isn't years. This is like a few weeks. So then you're like, okay, well, I got like 5 or 10 logo designs under my belt. Let me charge $100 for a logo design. I feel like that's more fair. And there's still so much to learn at this stage, because maybe it's only been 3 or 4 months of doing logo design or graphic design, and I have so much I'm still learning. I'm not just doing logo design. I'm also taking courses. I'm in a community of other designers and trying to get feedback, trying to get better. So I'm learning and making money at the same time. Now that I had a system, I've done maybe 30 logos or so. I'm 6 months into this whole process. I had a system. I've done this before. I know to do 3 revisions. I know how to package up the files afterwards, what kind of files the client needs, kind of working with clients with email. I'm starting to get really comfortable. So I developed this logo design process, and I was able to generate concepts and timelines, and developed a client questionnaire to make everything a lot more smoother, right? I didn't have a questionnaire at first, right? For $10, I'm not going to even read your client questionnaire at that point, but now I'm making a little bit more money. I can spend some more time, make some better stuff. So I am getting some credibility. So $500 for a logo. I used prior case studies to land larger clients, and client referrals were starting to come in. So I had some social proof. My system became more refined. So now I can charge $500. So maybe I'm at 1 year of doing this at this stage, right? This isn't 5 years of doing this. And so, so after I've done $500 logos for maybe 20 or 30 of those, I'm like, okay, well, if I can charge $500 and clients don't get worried about the price, then I'm charging too low, charging way too low. Even $500 for someone who has a year or 2 experience is pretty low. So I'm undervaluing myself as a designer. Let me see if I can raise those prices. I had several years of logo design projects under my belt, and I felt confident in offering much higher pricing. I had prior client testimonials to prove my value. I have proof now I'm a good designer and I'm worth hiring. I'm worth this price, right? So there's a point in your career where even $2,000 for a logo design is not enough, because you have more than just logo design you're worried about. Clients are wanting to put their logo on t-shirts and do advertising and do large format printing with the logo, and they want stationery and matching this and matching that. And you got to think about branding, which is way more complicated than just thinking about a logo design. You're starting to get big picture here and thinking about brand strategy and marketing strategy and how can a branding project integrate nicely with all those, right? So that's high level stuff. So then you need to start charging more than $2,000. You need to start charging $10,000 for a branding package. So I'm in demand. I have to say no to people because I have a lot of people coming my way. And when you have to say no to people, then you can charge the people that are available that you do project work. You can charge more money for them because you're saying no to stuff, right? So for them to say yes to me to pick your project, I'm going to want the most, right? So this, of course, all took 10 years to kind of develop and to get here. Maybe 8 years was when I could start charging $10,000. I'm now fortunately in my career where I don't even charge $10,000 because I don't even do logo design work, because I make a lot more money doing video work. Right now, what you're watching right now, I do full courses. I've made multiple $1 million as a graphic designer teaching in this teaching space, but it took me 20 years to get there. I can't just hop right in there and make millions of dollars as a graphic designer. It's going to take a decade or two of social proof, experience, proving myself. And also this whole time I've been advancing my skills beyond graphic design. I've learned video editing. I've learned how to direct videos and pace videos and create huge courses and resources and write books and do social media marketing and do Instagram reels and learning everything every day of my life. I learned something new because of that. So I want to encourage you and get you excited about this, that if you're feeling like you're in the rock bottom, that's okay, because I've been there too. Everybody starts at rock bottom. That doesn't mean you charge $10 for a logo. That's what I did. That was my personal journey. Those were the choices that I make. And I didn't value myself when I first started because I was scared that I wasn't good enough. I was scared I wasn't good enough, so I charged $10 for a logo design. But you may value yourself more, and you may start at $100 for a logo design. It's up to you. Can you get clients with what you're charging, and can you get experience with what you're charging, and just reassess that daily. So hopefully you come away with this a little bit more encouraged.